Hi, my name is Cameron Beinberg, and I wanted to take a few minutes to share a couple of stories with you about an awesome opportunity I have coming up. First story is back in 2008. I was at a place called Refuge House of Prayer doing an internship there and had a radical encounter with a friend of mine named Meg Van Dran. And she came up during a prayer meeting and said, "Hey, I feel like the Lord has told me to give you $20. And I looked at her and said, "You know what, I really appreciate it, but I'm okay on finances, and I actually know because you've told me before that you're not in the best place with that. So please just hold on to it. That would be, I think that would be the best." And she was really persistent and said, "No, Cam, I really think that you need to take this. This is going to be a blessing." And I said, "Well, I don't know." And we went back and forth, and another person came over and said, "What's going on here?" And we told them the situation, and they looked at us and said, "Well, Cam, clearly you're wrong." And I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, what do you know? Tell me why I'm wrong then." And he looks at me and he says, "Well, Cam, if she's been called to bless you with that $20, she's going to be blessed with something far bigger than that down the road. And so all you're doing is robbing her of a blessing." And it didn't really register in my mind until this past year in 2014. It was May 2014, and we were in the middle of a sermon series at my home church, Cucamonga Christian Fellowship. The sermon series was called Heart Check, and it was based off the parable of the sower. And I had just written a poem a few months before called "Where's Your Heart?" And I had presented it to our head pastor, Pastor Fraser, and said, "Hey, I've written this poem and I think it'd be great, and where can we place it in here?" And he said, "Well, let's end it with this." And so last week of the series, he invited me up, and it was kind of a benediction over the congregation, and it was really well received. It was a really powerful time, and people were really touched by this poem. And I was talking with Pastor Fraser afterwards, and he said, "Thanks so much for sharing that." And I said, "No, it was my honor and privilege." And he looks at me and he says, "Well, Cam, when are you going to publish your poetry?" And it was a really busy season, and so I joked back, kind of sliding away from the question. I said, "Well, when I have free time." And he said, "Well, Cam, I really think your poetry is excellent, and it's moving and it's powerful." And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "So seriously, when are you gonna publish it?" And I said, "I have no idea." And he said, in a joking manner, but it really shook me to the core, he said, "Well, Cam, you're only robbing the world of a blessing." No pressure or anything. And we had our good laugh, and I kind of shrugged it off, and then it came full circle, the story from 2008 and the story from 2014. And I came to realize that I had been limiting God's blessings, and I had only been receiving them and holding them to myself. And so I've taken this season of my life, and I've committed myself to putting together all of my writings, my poetry, my songs, my lyrics, everything that the Lord has specifically blessed me with. And I'm taking a step of faith and a step of humility, and I'm trying to release this blessing over the people around me in the hopes that it would bless them and awaken them to the love and grace and reality of Jesus. And so I've pieced together all of my poems into a book, and I'm calling it "Expressions on Earth as It Is in Heaven." And I'm currently in the process of trying to self-publish this book. So as a part of this process, I'm making this video and sharing these stories in my heart, all because I need your support. I need help in a few ways. I need prayer coverage first and foremost. I just want Jesus to be the center of every part of this process, from editing to cover design to finishing up the publishing process. I really just want the Lord to have preeminence in all things. Secondly, with that, I really think prayer over the impact that the book has on people would be great, just for hearts to be open to receive the seeds that are being planted in these writings, the richness of intimacy that I'm trying to share and be vulnerable with people, that it would lead people into that place, and that they would be able to share that as well. And third and foremost, with that prayer support, that the blessing that it's been for me, it would just bless people and open them up for creative ways of blessing those around them. And secondly, I'm asking for help financially. I need help in raising funds. I'm trying to raise $2,500 to completely cover the self-publication process. And I've got an awesome agency that I'm going through, great people of God, and I'm really excited about that process. I just want to cover it, and I don't have those funds right now, and so I'm asking for support in any way, from 20 cents to $20 to, if you want to cover it all of it, awesome. But in those two ways, I'm asking for your support, whether it be prayerfully or financially. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen, to hear my heart and my stories and the process that I'm in. And I just want to thank you ahead of time for covering me in prayer or donating or whatever it is, and just releasing the blessing that God has placed in you, so that I could release the blessing that God has placed in me. So thanks so much again, and just praying for the best and the biggest and the greatest things that the Lord has for all of us through the midst of this process. Thank you.